Sorry, y'all, my camera battery was running a little low, so I had to start over. So anyway, like I said, the quote was 6,500. But I didn't wind up getting everything done. So what I did was it was 4,500. So as I said, I wind up. It was cheaper to pay for everybody to go with me. We're in a pandemic. I got round trip Miami airfare for $97 for each person. So that was for myself. That was for my mom, my best friend, my son, and my daughter. Come on, y'all. Let's do the math. That was for the airfare. Then you had the Airbnbs that I had checked out. They were all different prices, and like some were up to like $1,750 a week. Well, if I'm going to spend $1,750, and my daughter's going to spend $1,750, that's ridiculous. So I looked for an Airbnb that was reasonable and that could house all of us. So I wound up getting an Airbnb in Opalopa, which is basically like 20 minutes from Miami, 20 minutes from where I was having surgery at. It was like 20 minutes from everywhere that we wanted to go. And I think I paid, if I remember, I think I paid 1,500, 1,550, or it wasn't more. It wasn't as much as the Airbnb. I mean, as the recovery house was for one person. So I did that. The rental for the week, I do believe, was like 700. And then the only other cost was anything we wanted to buy. So I went grocery shopping at Walmart when we got down there. Any additional things that we didn't want to carry down there with us, but we went and purchased stuff like that. But when you do the math on it, it was nowhere near what I was paying for the entire surgery in Philly. So my thing is, if you could get somebody to go with you, it may be a lot cheaper. And understand, you don't need a nurse. You just need somebody that's going to help you out, to help take care of you, or whatever. And I guess I'm not normal because, as I told y'all, I jumped into mommy mode. I didn't even realize, I had that kind of surgery because I wasn't in that kind of pain. So I was able to do a lot of things that most people couldn't do. And so I'm just keeping it real for what it was with me. How many days did you stay in Miami? Well, I stayed 10 days. I chose to stay 10 days. They tell you to stay at least a week. But I know that I was flying in, and you have to fly in for your pre-op. I couldn't get a flight in early enough to make pre-op, so I went in on the day before. So I went on the 8th of March, and my pre-op was the 9th, and the surgery was the 10th. And I didn't leave to come home until the 17th. During that time, you go to post-op the day after surgery. My first drain, I had to get it taken out because it was actually coming out. But like they said, the one drain is all the way across the inside your stomach anyway, so I knew I didn't have no problem with that. And a lot of times people will go home with their drains. Some of them will be fortunate enough to get it taken out while they're there, but I went home with my drain, and if you look at my prior video, you'll see that I took my own drain out on camera. So, make sure you can stay long enough to make sure that, you can get cleared to come home and everything. Most people are okay, but there are some exceptions, and there are some people that don't have it as easy. And so you just got to make sure that you're prepared and prepped for that. How was the plane ride home? The plane ride home was it was okay. If you go to my previous videos, you'll see that my plane ride was, well, the plane was full. It was packed full. There had some gentlemen that wanted to fight in the air on the back of the plane. So that was some drama. But as far as the comfortability, it was okay for me. They give you your note. I walk up and down the aisles every so often to make sure that there were no blood clots or anything. Um, I didn't have it bad at all. But I did tell y'all I would tell y'all some things about the BBL, and let me run back real quick. My daughter's surgery was at New Life Plastic Surgery. Her doctor was Dr. Dahlbeck, and Dr. Dahlbeck is the transgender doctor, and that is known for giving some nice booties. Um, of course, she didn't choose a recovery house because she chose to stay with her mama because it was free. And she stayed in Miami as long as I did. Her ride home was not as good as mine because, as you know, with a BBL, you cannot sit on your booty for 6 weeks. You sit on these hard BBL pillows, or a lot of the girls, you'll see them kneeling on their knees and their arms are up on a chair. This flight going back was not like the flight going. The flight going, we were in a 787, the 3 rows, the big gigantic plane where everybody has their own monitors and stuff. Going back, it wasn't like that. It was a smaller plane. So she was very uncomfortable. I opted to get a wheelchair. They benefited from that because they were able to follow me in the line when my escort was riding me around. But I would suggest that you get a wheelchair because the length of walking that you do is tremendously long when you get to Miami, and then you're getting on the above ground monorail, and then you got to get to your baggage claim, and then if you have to go, like, it's a lot. So I would suggest that you do have a get a wheelchair, and then everybody can kind of go through with you. But as I said, it depends on how far how far you're flying. Um, you know, so that would tell you how comfortable you're going to be. You make sure you have your compression socks on. Make sure you get up and you walk. You know, just make sure you do the things that you're supposed to do. What meds did I take? All right, y'all. And some people will get mad at me when it comes to this medication thing. First of all, I had a doctor in Philadelphia, a management doctor, because I got injured on the job as a medic, and I have arthritis in my left hip. So I get in hip injections and things like that. And my doctor told me before I even went, let me manage your pain. Do not let them manage your pain. He said, you're going to hate your surgeon, but you're going to love me. He ain't never lied. So before I left, I had my whole regimen of medications with me. And yes, they did include the narcotics. He told me what to take, how often to take them, even if I was not in no pain. For the first 2 days, follow my regimen and you'll be fine. And I'm going to tell y'all, yes, I stayed lit. I made sure my daughter stayed lit because I watched too many of the YouTubers where they are crying, they are bloody, they are going crazy when they have their massages. I was not dealing with that, and I didn't want to see my daughter in that much pain. So I stayed medicated, and as y'all can see on my previous videos, I was fine. I was up walking around. I was cooking. I think after my post-op appointment, I was in Walmart shopping. I think on day 4, I was at the casino in Miami. Y'all seen me when I went to get my southern cuisine in Miami. So I didn't really, it wasn't too restricted. Now, I'm not saying to, abuse any kind of medication because I took it the way my doctor said. But what it allowed me to do was to not be in pain. And when you're not in pain, you're more mobile. They want you to get up and walk every hour. And if you're in pain, a lot of people won't walk. They tell you to walk bent over. I had brought a walker with me, y'all. I never used it. I never had to use it. I used it to roll luggage. But for the most part, I kind of walked straight up from the beginning. And part of it, I can tell you, I do know how. When they sit you up, they normally elevate you and sit you up. And they don't want you to stand straight up for a while in risk of pulling your stitches or anything like that. And they pull you real tight. He pulled me extremely tight. But when you lose 125 pounds, um, oh y'all, my oven alarm is going off because I am cooking. So give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. Had to go check on the dinner that I'm cooking because you know I'm still a mom and I still do the cooking. So anyway, as I was saying, they pull you extremely tight on the table, but they normally sit you up and stitch you. When I noticed the pictures that he had sent me on the portal, I was laying straight back, almost bent. So, but what I'm thinking is because the weight that I lost so much weight. So when he pulled as much skin as he could possibly pull, it's still some skin. You know, I still have additional skin. It's just not saggy skin. So I was able to maneuver, my, you know, sitting up and down or whatever. Now, what I did realize is as my stitches healed every day, they got tighter and tighter. So there were days I'm sitting and I stand up and I'm holding onto them because they're real tight. And, you know, it feels like they might bust open, but, you know, but they didn't. So that's what I would say about that. But they, you know, I'm just not like everybody else was. I was able to maneuver around. I didn't have to walk with a walker. My stitches were basically okay. Um, now my daughter, as I was saying, when she had hers done the day after I had my tummy tuck. So when she came in, I jumped into mommy mode. So that same particular day, as soon as she walked in, I was patting her up because I didn't want a bloody fire high. I saw blood. She saw blood. She's ill, you know, because she's so bougie. Um, I was putting them, I had the bed already made up with the chucks on it and the shower curtain down. And, you know, I made sure I had the heating pad for her when I laid her down. I made sure I had, you know, padding on top of her. I had everything. I knew she would eventually get tired of not being able to sit on her butt, so I bought her an avocado float with the big gigantic avocado with the hole in the middle of it, so you can lay back and your booty suspends in the hole. I had everything for her. But it's so funny because a lot of women worry about their menstrual cycle coming on when they go down. And I tell them that's the last thing you need to worry about because that's about the best time it can come on because you're not going to feel your cramps because you're dealing with the pain from everything else. And you got pads ungodly down there. So, I mean, that's easy to take care of as well. But not to be so graphic, y'all, though. But when I say I jump into mommy mode, I really jumped into mommy mode because, you know, her cycle did come on. She can't bend. She can't reach. She can't do none of that stuff. So y'all just put y'all thinking caps on. What did this mom do? All I could say is I was on my knees, tummy tucking on. I didn't care. Drains hanging and all. I did what a mom would do, and I took care of my child. So that was I dealt with the pain. I dealt with the pain easily, and as I said, I took care of my daughter as well. So it's crazy because now one thing we do know is 360 lipo or lipo of any sort is far worse than any tummy tuck could ever be. Yes, we have our whole stomachs have been darn near ripped off, as my mom would say, thrown over our heads. Our whole belly's exposed. But that is nothing compared to the pain of a cannula that is being pushed in and out of you in all different areas of your body. You figure, you know, they put the trimestin, I think I'm saying that right, the trimestin fluid in first. They go through all the different holes. You can have anywhere from 2 holes to 12 holes, depending on how much lipo you're getting done. And the cannula is going in there first with the trimestin fluid all over where they're going to be sucking out the fat because it helps to release the fat cells. It helps to make it easier for it to be less blood and things like that. And then they go in and suck it out like a vacuum cleaner. So you figure it's like being beat up all through your body. And then the next day, it's time to get a massage. Somebody's pushing on every one of them wounds. And that got to be a horrible feeling. But my daughter took it like a champ because her mother hooked her up. It was sore, but she don't know the true experience of what it could have been like because I didn't allow her to go through that. And what I'm saying is you don't have to go through that. If you could take Tylenol and you're good with that and all, go ahead to each his own. For me and for mine, I did what my pain management doctor recommended for me. And I thank him. I love him to death for it. And I think it was day 2. My daughter didn't have to take no medicines at all. She took Tylenol after day 2. For me, I take my pain medicine when as needed for my arthritis. But the tummy tuck, I'm good. I'm good. What medications did we take? Well, they prescribe you with medications down there as well. So what they give you is an antibiotic. You get the pain medicine, and you get something for nausea. I think I had Zofran. I never used the nausea pain medicine at all. I didn't have to use it at all. My daughter did. She kept getting nauseated. It's weird because after she had her BBL, her taste buds was weird. Everything she ate, she did not like. So she wouldn't really eat much. I don't know what that was about, but but she did keep getting dizzy. I did get dizzy when I went to my post-op appointment. When they took your binder off. When you take them binders off and things like that, the blood starts rushing and you will get dizzy. So make sure that you have somebody close by you, or you have a wall or something you can lean on. But those were the medications that was distributed to us after surgery. What are some items that you can't do without? Well, for my tummy tuck, pillows. Pillows, pillows, pillows. You see people saying they need the recliners and all of that stuff. First of all, I'm in an Airbnb. I don't know. I didn't know if they had a recliner or not. I just knew I had to make myself comfortable. I decided to sleep on the sectional, and I just loaded the pillows. You can buy wedge pillows and all that stuff. I wasn't carrying all that stuff with me, but I wedged the pillows up. I had pillows under my knees so that, I was kind of like in a V shape. So tummy tuck can't live without pillows. I couldn't live without a grabber, one of them little portable grabbers, because when somebody's not around and you need your medicine, or you need, whatever it is, you need that little grabber to grab the stuff. That thing came in handy. Oh my God. And a cough pillow, like a pillow, like in case you got a cough or you got to sneeze or something, you better hold that bad boy there, because Lord, no, I ain't coughing. Because I already had several surgeries in the past on the stomachs. I already know how that could be, and that could be painful. Some people can rip their stitches. I'm not having it. For the BBL, I would say you can't live without either an avocado float, or you can't live without arnica gel. That arnica gel for them bruises after you look like you'd have been beat down. And I'm just, there's a lot of things that you really need, but I'm talking about like something that really stands out to me. I know that my daughter needed that arnica gel extremely bad. Um, BBLs, you definitely need pads. Pads, pads, pads. Every single hole. I call them the little bullet holes that she had all over her body. I'm stuffing them with sanitary napkins, pads all over the place, so you ain't got to walk around looking nasty. And you need the best fitting faja because you swell so crazy. You want to make sure that you are compressed so that you do not have to deal with that swell hell where you're so swollen that you got to go and get it syringed out or anything like that. So you definitely need a great faja. You need, them boards and the foams, and you definitely need those things. Um, you know, please make sure you have your BBL pillow because you can't sit on your butt. You got to sit on them thighs. Um, everywhere you go, you figure, you can't lay down. I mean, you can't sit on your booty, so you better have that pillow with you wherever you go, if you're out somewhere. Something people don't really talk about. Ooh, TMI. The cootie cat. The cootie cat being swollen. Listen, I've been on many surgical groups, and I had to ask some people, like, is anybody else cootie cat swollen? Nobody talking about that? Like, what I didn't realize is, remember, they taking all this skin and fat or whatever out of there, and then they're pulling down, all the way down. They make you a new hole because your belly button don't move. Your belly button's still there. But when they pull down, you actually getting a cootie cat lift. So, over time, age, weight, whatever, it become a little, bigger or fluffy or fat, whatever you want to call it, you're basically getting a cootie cat lift. So when they stitch that together, that fluid is going to come right in where that stitching is. Because, as I said, fluid comes wherever the incisions are, where you're scarred at or whatever. Mama, you better make sure you get the massages and you put some pressure on that cootie cat. Because that sucker ain't no joke. That thing hurt. And that's something that you don't really hear too many people talking about. And that happens even with your BBL. So be prepared, because you get them 2 bullet holes here and here, and that's real close. And that fluid come in there, that cootie cat start to hurting. I'm just telling y'all to see. That's why my channel is not for children, because I'm being real with y'all. I'm telling y'all real stuff that you really need to know when you having your surgery. My opinion on massages. Now, the doctors would tell you, a lot of people with tummy tucks, you don't need no massages for 6 weeks. Don't touch the incision. Don't do this. Don't do that. Listen, I'm glad I did set up my massages. I had 3 lymphatic massages when I was in Miami. I was going to set up a whole bunch of them, but then when I was hearing don't get them done, I really wasn't sure. But I had already put a deposit down, so she was coming for my daughter anyway. So when she came, she, as a massage therapist, was explaining to me why you are supposed to start right away. Now, I must say the massages in Miami was completely different from the massages that I got when I got home in Philadelphia. The lymphatic massages are very light, gentle massages. It's to get all of your fluids into the lymphatic drainage system in your body, so you can urinate them out. Or if you have drains, you can actually feed it through the drains, and it helps to get all that fluid off. And my massages felt really nice. It wasn't much she had to do to my stomach, though. She did a lot on the back, bringing the fluid from around the back, down into the front so it can flush out. And I really like the girl Bridget that did our it's Primpered and Pampered on Instagram. I really enjoyed those massages and all, but I realized that when I came back to Philadelphia and I'm at the Mandalay Spa, I got some real stuff going on, y'all. I've had the light massage. I've had the cavitation. I've had ultrasonic massage. I had the lipo blocks. Um, when they do these massages in Philly, they were more rough. Because see, I no longer have drainage tubes or anything else. They getting that stuff out of me. But they are massaging on top of the scar. Once your incisions are basically healed, like after the 3 week mark, they are kneading into that. Because like she explained to me, that's where you keloid underneath. That's where scar tissue grows. That's where the so they want to get that low as possible. They don't want all that to build up. And see, a lot of times you hear girls saying that their surgeons botched them up. It's not that they're botched up. They haven't had no massages to get all that fluid out of them interstitial spaces and get that stuff flat. Think about it like this. With tummy tuck, when they lift, all that fluid has all that cavity of space to build up in there. Now, some doctors do a different method and they do a sew down method inside. And so they do drainless massage. They don't put drains in, but they say the body has the ability to release the fluid. But a lot of them don't do the sew down method. And so all of that is where the fluid can build up at. You have to keep that massage to get that fluid out, because what's happening is the skin has been lifted. Okay, you have the fascia layer right above your muscle, and they take it all the way down to that fascia layer. When that skin goes back down, it has to adhere back to the body. And in the beginning, it's not like that because it's all this fluid. So as you're, pushing that fluid out and pushing that fluid down, it's just, think about it, it's getting dry inside and it's starting to stick. And that's why some people, when they get their drainages taken out later, some of them have a tug and a pull because that skin has gotten dry underneath, and then that drain is kind of stuck there. That's why you saw me in my video just massaging and making sure that it came away from the skin. But you want that fluid to get out of there so that that skin can adhere back. In liposuction, everywhere that cannula goes in and it's pulled out, it's a hole. Think of it, a long running hole. Fluid is getting in there. They got to push that stuff down and out so the body can stick back together. That's why after each massage, when a person gets a BBL, and they get that lipo 360 and they get that, massage, each time it looks like you see their bodies forming more and more. They're getting more and more of that fluid out. And the minute that that fluid is out, they're compressing. And that's why they have to go down in sizes of thigh highs so fast. They're compressing so that that fluid can't come back as much as it was. And each time they get it down more and more, and then that body starts sticking together. That's what you need. So my suggestion is get them massages ASAP. Some facilities offer a certain amount of massages with their package. I say get those and get an outside masseuse to come to your Airbnb, to your recovery house, or somewhere you can go, but get your massages. They say for a BBL, you should get at least 10 massages before you leave Miami. This thing is an investment. So it's not about just paying for your surgery and then, hey, it's over. It's an investment. Aftercare is expensive. So make sure you save some money because the aftercare is very expensive. Now, I realized that the massages in Miami was more expensive than the massages in Philly. I think I paid $250 for 3 massages in Miami. Now, they had a 10 massage package or whatever. But when I came to Philly, I paid $250 for 5 massages. And I'm telling y'all, they're hour massages. And they're doing all kinds of machines. And every time I go, there's something different. I'm getting my money's worth. Definitely getting my money's worth. But as I said, I'm not done because I'm a month out and I feel good. I don't swell that much, but every day you still swell. You swell all the way up to a year. You still get swelling. Um, as I said, I don't swell that much, but there are days like I ate the wrong food. I ate some fish that was fried and it had Old Bay on it and the fish fry, and I swelled up for 2 days. I had to wear my compression stockings. I had to wear the stage 2 thigh high, and it was like death because it was so tight. But I had to get that fluid off me. I blew up so bad like a blowfish, and that was very uncomfortable. So you got to be careful what you eat, what you're putting in your body, and everything like that. But massages are a very key part. I have people that have sent me pictures and showing me how their bodies kind of look a little deformed and things like that. And the first question I asked is, did you get massages? And there was a girl in Iowa that told me she never heard of it. Nobody ever told her that. And I told her, go look up massages in your area and find out who does lymphatic drainage massages and get you some massages. See if you have a seroma where you have fluid that is stuck in the cavity, and they may have to take a syringe and pull that fluid out. But every time you see craters or uneven lipo, it's not necessarily that the doctor did anything wrong. It's what you didn't do for your follow-up and your aftercare. And y'all, the days that I'm not going to my masseuse, I'm massaging myself. I know I learned how to do the lymphatic drainage massages on myself. I bought a cavitation machine. I have a regular massage machine. Listen, I'm not playing with this. This is an investment. You spend too much money to botch it up, okay? So that's what I feel about the massages. The doctor's BMIs. All different doctors take different BMIs. As I said, there's a lot of doctors in Miami that like to do what they call skinny BBLs. And the reason being is because in Miami, you have a quota. They can only take 4,000 cc's of fat. So that means if you're getting a BB, depending on how heavy you are, there might not be much of anything. And so when they go to try to transfer the fat into your buttocks, you're wondering why your butt's so natural and he didn't put that much in or whatever. Like, it depends on what you're working with. So that's why a lot of them will tell you to be a certain weight. A lot of people have to lose weight before having their surgeries. But as I said, the skinnier girls, it's easier for them, at times. So, but my doctor's BMI, it was a 34. I was, at that time, 200 pounds, 5'4" is what I thought. But when I got there, they told me I was 5'3". I ain't been 5'3" since I was in the 9th grade, y'all, and I'm 54 years old. I don't know if I lost weight in my feet and it made me shrink. I don't know, but so they had me down as 198, 5'3", and my BMI was 34.4, I think. When you're getting a tummy tuck, and they know a lot of it is excess skin or whatever, they don't bother you. But in some cases, they will flag you for your weight. So my daughter's doctor BMI went up to a 35, Dr. Dolbeck. So yeah, so you have to check with each doctor and find out what their BMI requirements are. And all BMI is you can go right on Google for the BMI calculator, put in your weight, put in your height, and they'll tell you what your body mass index is. And you'll know if you have to lose weight or not. Weight loss before surgery. As I told you, I had gained weight during the pandemic. I did have to lose weight. I went all the way up to 231 pounds, y'all. And I went on a keto diet to lose weight. Lost it very, very quick. It was a little hard losing the last pounds. So I went on YouTube. I found the jump rope challenge. I saw the cucumber juice, the celery juice challenge. I was just doing anything I could think of doing, the liquid, whatever, just to make sure that I had lost that weight. Like I said, just know in advance what your BMI requirements are, and whatever it is, try to be 5 pounds under that. the more weight you lose, the better your results will come out. Because as I said before, they have a quota of what they could take out for for BBLs. So if this is not a weight loss surgery, especially when you talk about BBL, because you think about it, it's a fat transfer. So they're taking fat out of your belly or whether your arms, legs, whatever, and then they're depositing it into your buttocks. So it's like if you withdraw $2,000 out of your checking account and you put it in your savings account, you still have the same amount of money. You just put it in another area. So it's not it's not a weight loss thing. Now it is a body contouring thing, and after the fact you're going to want to lose weight because you're going to like your results and it's going to motivate you to do that. But so yeah, lose all the weight that you possibly can so that you can get the maximum results. Tummy tuck, same thing. Like I said, I didn't realize I had mostly skin. I didn't have a lot of fat in my stomach. All that y'all saw on my belly was skin, and it was horrible. It looked horrible. It looked like a bunch of fat, but it was skin. So had I had more fat there, it's more fluid that can build up in those fat pockets and things. It makes it harder. So lose what you can ahead of time. Hemoglobin requirements. Now, y'all, I'm anemic. Low iron, everything. It's been like that for years. I found out some years ago, I went on my daughter's college tour. Thought I was having a heart attack going up and down steps. Didn't know what was going on with me. Come to find out I'm anemic. My hemoglobin was at a 6 and it's supposed to be at least like a 13. I had emergency iron infusions. I never had to get blood transfusions, but I had iron infusions. And so I already knew that I had to have my hemoglobin up because if you don't have enough blood in your body for the surgery, the doctors are leery about doing your surgery. So I had my iron infusions before I went to Miami. Lo and behold, though, I had my iron taken when I sent my labs down there, and it was 11.5. So it was good. It was good, but it wasn't great for surgery. I was supposed to get a tummy tuck. My legs were supposed to be, well, I thought it was going to be a leg lift, but they can't do that at the same time that they do a tummy tuck. So they were talking about lipo in my legs and then doing some fat transfer to the buttocks just to even everything out. Dr. Kagan is an honest man. He would not take my money for my thighs because he said, you don't have enough fat. He grabbed it. He said, this is skin. I need to do a thigh lift and get rid of all this excess skin. God, I can't talk. So he wouldn't do that. And, a lot of doctors will explain to you, too, that for them it's contraindicated to do any kind of fat transfer, a BBL, along with a tummy tuck. Because with a tummy tuck, you can't lay on your stomach. With a BBL, you can't sit on your butt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand up and sleep in a moon capsule. But some people do it, y'all. Some people do it. They get these gravity chairs and all. Listen, I'm glad I didn't take that route because I wouldn't be able to do that. So your hemoglobin, they wanted to be up there, 12, 13, above, high as it can go. And that was the reason that I could only get a tummy tuck anyway, was because they did not send my new lab work down. My blood is a 16, y'all, right now. My hemoglobin is a 16. But on paper, they only saw 11.5. And I understand Dr. Kagan cannot risk his license by doing something. And if something was to happen, on paper, they would say, well, why did you leave her under surgery that long? And her hemoglobin was only 11.5. So I respected that. And I'm going back later to get the other things done. Types of garment after surgery. They give you a waist binder after a tummy tuck. Now in the DR, they put you right in fajas and everything else, but they give us a waist binder. And then once your incisions heal and you get your drains taken out, you go into the faja. For BBLs, you immediately go and you wake up in a faja. And 9 times out of 10, y'all, they give you a faja that's too darn big anyway. They know you're going to swell, but they put my daughter in a 5X thigh high. Now, thigh highs don't run at regular size, so it's not a regular 5X like a 5X person. But they put her in a 5X thigh high. And when she went after post-op, she went to Pretty Girl Curves and got a extra large. Y'all tell me the method. I wound up using her first stage thigh high when I got out of my binder before, because when I went to Pretty Girl Curves, they gave me this one, but they gave me a stage 2 garment. But it was fine. It all worked out. All good. So, yeah, but you're going to wind up getting, put some money aside for a couple of thigh highs as well, because you will be going down. And once, like this is my stage 2 garment. I'm on the 3rd hook, meaning the next stage is either get it taken in by a tailor or go to the 1X thigh high, because this one is the 2X. Information on drains. As I said previous, for tummy tucks, your drains can be taken out. Some people get their drains taken out that first week. Some people get one drain taken out, like me. And my second drain, I let it stay in there almost up to 3 weeks, y'all. I wanted to make sure I had as much fluid out as possible. So that varies. That varies, because I've seen people on YouTube that really had some issues with swelling really bad, and they've kept their drains in for a very long time. Don't be concerned about how long your doctor leaves your drain, and just be concerned that if you have a doctor that knows enough to know that as long as you have a lot of fluid still coming out on the bulbs, that drain needs to be in there. You need to get all of that out. You don't want any of that being stuck inside of you. So don't get alarmed if your drain stays in longer than someone else's. The drains are they didn't hurt. They were just a little uncomfortable depending on the way your clothes was. They shouldn't hurt or anything. And I've seen a lot of people talk about pain when they come out. Y'all, I took my own drain out. I mean, I think it's this scary feeling of when I was pulling, I felt like it was a suction, like, oh God, it's stuck. Oh my God, what's going to happen? But then I kept massaging it and I could feel it. And it was like a suction. And it was like the minute that I felt that, it was like, whoop, came right out. We let our anxieties get the best of us by listening to what other people say. And we automatically have expectations that everything is going to be so horrible. But you know what? I'd rather you have the worst expectations. That way, when you go in and you say it's not so bad, than to go in there, oh, well, Sharon said it's cake work. And if y'all don't go in there with the kind of meds I had, it might not be cake work for you. Understand it? All right. Because I know I'm long-winded. How long do you swell? As I said, that varies from person to person. They say that tummy tuck swelling is 6 months to a year, because it's 6 months to a year that you will even get to your true healing from the inside out. Your scars on the outside may be healed, but you still feel weird things, different burning sensations. As I told y'all before, with the swelling and everything, my muscles trying to heal, I felt like I was having contractions, like when you have a baby and you're having contractions, your muscles contract, and that fluid being in there can feel like fluttering, like a baby that's moving around in there. There's some weird stuff that be feeling like it's going on in there with that swelling. But as I said, as you get your massages, make sure you compress, so as much fluid cannot just fill right back up. But some people have it worse than others. Where that incision is, that area does get tight and it swells. And some people call it swell hell, where they're so swollen, they're so sore, they are miserable. They can't listen. I took bromelain, which is the girls, when they have BBLs, they eat pineapples because it has the bromelain in it. I couldn't eat pineapples because I'm on keto. The bromelain, the arnica tea, which helps with swelling. Arnica tablets helps with swelling, as well as the bruising and all of that kind of stuff. drink. Lots of fluid, electrolytes. It keeps you draining. When you have those massages, it helps to get the bacteria or any kind of, all that stuff out of you. So that helps with swelling. Your compression socks and your compression garments to keep that swelling down. And one thing I wasn't afraid of, and once again, your doctors may tell you something different. Once I got into my faja, I use my ab board. The ab boards that they use for BBLs and stuff. I use my ab board. Push that ab board down in there. And as I said, the bottom of the ab board, I put down there where my cootie cat. Because that board presses up and it helps that cootie cat don't swell up. I keep telling y'all, and they do have something on Amazon, another pad that you can put down there so you don't have that swelling. Because I ain't never experienced no swell hell. But that cootie cat, you don't want that. You don't want that. I'm telling y'all don't want that. So yeah, so everybody, the swelling is different, but those are some things that help me in reducing fluid. I drink water with lemon, squeeze lemon in there. If you don't have squeezed lemon, then use the concentrated lemon, but that also helps with the inflammation and the swelling. Let's see, how do you care for your wounds? Y'all, I didn't bother my scars. I see people putting all kinds of stuff on their scars, and I did not bother. You see, I had the tape. And what I would do when I take my shower, I would use that Hibiclens or Dialbac antibacterial soap, the same stuff you had to use the night before surgery. And I leave the tape on, and I go over it with the Hibiclens, over my belly button with the Hibiclens. I let my tape get to the point where it was going to fall off. So when I would be in a warm shower, I would let the water hit the tape, and then I would let the tape rise, and I would just pull the tape around as the water's hitting. Because the problem a lot of people have, they start pulling that tape off, and those stitches are on there, and they pull either skin or them stitches, and then the skin starts opening up. I ain't bothered. And when I saw it starting to fall off, I let the water get the stickiness off, and I would take it off. And then after I got out the shower, I would pat it dry, take a blow dryer on cool air, let it dry real good, and I would take that paper tape and I put it right back around there. Okay, I put that paper tape right back on there. I didn't bother my incisions. My belly button, I take the gauze off, clean it. I will put the Neosporin on it, and I put the pad back on there. Now, my belly button, that's another issue, and I'm going to come back with another video on that because something is going on with my belly button, and it's kind of crazy because my belly button was doing great. I went to the massage parlor, and like the lady couldn't speak English, but they kept looking at my belly button. And then all these people, was coming in. I don't know what they were saying, and like, is it okay? She wound up putting on her phone this stuff she wanted me to get from CVS, and that was the Manuka honey bandages, or they have it in a cream or whatever. So I went and I bought it, and I put it on and covered it. But now all of a sudden, around my belly button inside hole, it looks like a white, almost like a white piece of paper, film, that I could almost cut around it and pull it off. I don't know what it is. So I dried it and everything, and I was putting it back on. I don't want to use that no more because I don't know if that's what caused my belly button was healing so good. It has a nice little roundness to it. In the beginning, it was, gunky looking and everything. And I just put the peroxide on and pat it, dry it, But as soon as I started using that Manuka honey, I don't know what it's doing to the skin around it. And I'm wondering if that's just going to be dead skin that's going to eventually dry off and come out. But then I started researching on YouTube, like infections, but my belly button doesn't look like an infection. It doesn't hurt like an infection. And no pictures that I find on there looks anything like it. I started looking up um, yeast, because if you ever see a baby that gets yeast on their tongue or that white coating, that's almost what it looks like around there. So I've been researching that, but once again, I can't find anything on YouTube about that either. I'm not finding anything. So I'm a researcher. But one thing I did see is salt water in warm water. I put it in a shot glass. I got it to stick to, there. And I actually laid back and let the water just sit there for a while. Then I leaned back over, got the shot glass off, dried it real good. I blow dried it. I put some little Neosporin back on it. So I'm going to be checking that and see how that looks after I do that for a couple of days. And then I'm going to come back, because just in case, I don't know if anybody else has had the same experience or anything. And this is something I haven't heard of, haven't seen. My belly button was looking cute. I told y'all I ain't seen the belly button in I don't know how long. So I was getting excited about it. But then I don't know what this Manuka honey stuff did to my belly button, or if this is something common or whatever. But if y'all know anything or know anything about what I'm talking about, please leave me a comment. But that's what I did with my scars. I do have the spray wound clean. So like I said, I would when I go take my shower, I would take my belly button gauze off. I would put some peroxide on it, pat it. I never would bother my scar, my incision, but like I said, I go over it with the Hiba Cleanse. The wound spray, spray it in there, pat it dry. Just minor stuff, but I don't bother my scar. And now I think I showed y'all the other day that my scar is healing so wonderful. Like, it's really feeling smooth, man. When I was telling you about the massage therapist, she really gets in there. But what she explained to me is, while the tape is on there, you know how when you do a stitching, even on clothes, and it gathers, well, sometimes your skin looks like that with the stitches, and it gathers. She said you hold down on the tape, and you just do like this, and you just keep pulling it apart, just like you would do material. And that has really straightened my incision out. It's looking good. It's feeling good. I can feel, of course, you're always going to get a little scar tissue underneath. And you can feel it, but I'm constantly kneading it out, and she does the same thing. So I would say, don't put too much stuff on it. Don't aggravate your scar. Kind of leave it alone until you know that all those stitches are dissolved, or for the doctors that you don't have to remove them. But I like to just keep it on for security, because in the past I noticed that, because I normally have keloid skin, and in the past I noticed that I would think that a scar was good, and I would take the bandage off, and then all of a sudden it would start to open a little bit. That tape secures your skin together, and so I just tell you, don't bother it too much. When can you exercise? Well, doctors tell you that depends on how you feel. You wouldn't do for tummy tuck, definitely not doing no strenuous exercising right away or anything, but you can go back to walking on your treadmill after a few weeks. Doing light cardio, things that don't pull too much on that muscle. I have this machine. I think I showed it to y'all in the beginning. But your feet, when your feet is on there, and it moves, and it makes all of your muscles in your body move. It doesn't make you do too much strenuous exercising, but the machine does the work for you. But you can do things like that, and walk on a treadmill, walk around the block. Just start walking up steps, walking down steps. Things, that's cardio that will just burn, But don't get back into anything too strenuous, something that will give you a hernia, anything that will affect that incision or whatever. Try to relax on that. But after 3 weeks, you can go back into your light work. When can you drive or go back to work? Well, once again, that's on you and how you feel. My doctor told me that after, my healing, he said, wait for 6 to 8 weeks, and then get back into the regular swing of things. And I'm taking advantage of that, y'all. Now, I did drive. Y'all saw me in one of my videos to the masseuse after I think that was at week 4. Um, and it was okay, but it's a little uncomfortable because of the way you're sitting. And so you can't really stretch out too much. So be careful. Don't go overboard and go long distance and think that you back in the swing of things. Because you're not. And then when you get up to get out of the car and stuff, it's, it's tight. And so you got to be careful. And if you're on the job, you still want to get up and walk around and things like that. You just want to be on the safe side. And let me back up too with that plane ride and stuff like that. There are some doctors that give shots, I heard. And I guess it's more like the heparin shots and all to thin out your blood so you don't get clots and stuff like that. I didn't have to do no shots. Some people do these shots every day for 5 days. Is it local? I'm not even going to tell y'all the wrong thing. But, as far as clotting, because I just wanted to remember that. So like I said, do what's best for you. BBLs, girls, when y'all go back to work and y'all got some of them booties, I know that after a while you can sit on them, but I'm still worried about my investment. I don't want no and I'm joking when I say deflating, because we know that was with them the what they call them, back shots, buck shots, butt shots, whatever they called them. That was before you were doing your own fat injections, and all them other chemicals and stuff that was going in. And they were saying fix flat in there, sit down, and then your booty flatten up. Listen, I'm not joking about it, but I mean, it was happening. But I'm just saying, when you spend money for a surgery, you want to make sure you don't botch it up. And if I get me a nice, perfect, round booty, I don't want it flattening out or, too soon. So just take it easy, and know your limitations, know what you can do. That's all I could say. And the last question 20. When can you go and have sex? Listen, y'all. That's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm just being honest with y'all. And I've heard people listen, y'all, we was in the line, near the line, for Pretty Girl Curves one day. And this girl was behind me and she was in pain. You could tell she had just had her surgery and she needed to go get her FIH. And her boyfriend was with her. And we were talking, and I don't know how that topic came up about sex and all. And her boyfriend had a nerve to stop our conversation. He said, listen, she had surgery here and here. She didn't have surgery there. And I said to him, well, what you going to do, turn her upside down on her head? Like, come on, y'all. Gentlemen that are watching, be considerate. Have some compassion. These women are in pain. These women have been jacked up. Like, y'all can wait. There's other things you could do. Like, chill for a moment. I mean, I've heard people say after 3 weeks or whatever, but I'm going to just be honest with y'all. Like I said, first of all, I had a tummy tuck. So y'all already know ain't nothing happening. For girls, y'all got y'all BBLs. Ain't nobody messing with my booty. That's just my sentiments about it. And the way you be black and blue and look like you done been beat up, every which way but loose, touching those areas is sore. My daughter is still sore. She ain't in pain, but it's sore. And as I told you, everywhere that cannula goes, when you put that FIH on in them phones, try putting them on a little wrong or a little crooked. Those areas, when you take it off, it's going to be like a big area that is going to be filled with fluid. And until that stuff is massaged out, it hurts. It hurts. So you're going to go through fluid and little pain spots and stuff for a while, a good while. It's an investment. Sex can wait. But for the ones that can't, be careful, y'all. Just be careful. Like I said, your body is an investment. And you want to take care of it. And like somebody like me, I've lost all that weight and had to walk around being a prisoner in my skin all these years, and to still feel, fat inside, and still feel, horrible. For me, I showed confidence. Nobody knew what I was feeling like on the inside. And it's a lot of people struggling like that, you know. So be a little compassionate and don't let sex be the only thing. Don't make them feel bad. They done went through a lot and through so much, even getting this done, because a lot of people still go through backlash because of the decisions that they chose to make. So y'all, I hope that, all this information that I gave is helpful. If there was some questions that I didn't hit and you need information on it, just as I said to you, just give me a comment below. Or you could go on my Facebook, A Mom's Journey with spaces, A, Moms with S, Journey. Or you could go on my Instagram, chew._chew, CHEW ._CHEW. And I will try to come with all of the answers that I can bring to you. As I always say, I'm a mom on a journey. My journey is your journey, and we're all going to journey together. I'm going to take you on many of my journeys, y'all. So I just want you to stick in there with me. Like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. I got a lot to talk about. All right, until next time, y'all. Peace out.